Welcome to the London Free Press Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Gilbert. The city of St. Thomas is hoping to acquire a parcel of land from Central Elgin to add to its own spot and create a mega industrial park to woo new business to the area. And while that could be great news for St. Thomas, not everyone is thrilled about it. So today I'm talking with London Free Press reporter Norman De Bono about the deal and what the plan is. Hi, Norm. How are you?
Very well, Rachel. Thank you. How are you?
Good. So let's just kind of go over what the overall goal is for this land. What are they hoping to build on this spot?
So it's really interesting. So I mean, over the course of the summer, in the spring of the summer, the city of St. Thomas, the municipality, accumulated about 800 acres of land. They did it quietly. They bought the land, and the land is immediately east of the city itself, and adjacent to the city of St. Thomas. But most of it actually lies in Central Elgin. So it purchased it, and then they announced that, like in the fall, they announced that they had assembled this land, and they were looking to develop a major industrial park for major industrial investment. So there's been a lot of talk in the province, across Ontario, really, that the province is pursuing an EV battery investment plan, electric vehicle battery plant that will manufacture EV batteries for vehicles, because that's the big trend in the industry right now. A lot of automakers and a lot of their partner energy companies are looking at building new plants across North America. We've heard that Ford has just announced a plant in the U.S. A few months ago, Windsor got a plant with Stellantis and a Chinese partner with them. So this is a trend in the industry right now. It's happening everywhere. There's a lot of discussion that St. Thomas wants in on this, and the Ontario government wants in on this. So they assembled that 800-acre parcel of land. And then we find out just really last week that at the province's urging, the municipality of St. Thomas has nearly doubled the size of that land, something to 1,500 acres. So they're buying 700 additional acres around them, most of it in Central Elgin. And the city of St. Thomas has told me that land deal will close by the end of March, and that the province is passing legislation to ensure all that land is just in the city of St. Thomas boundary, so it's St. Thomas's land. The reason is when they get a plant there, it's easier for them to build and pass environmental assessment standards and zoning bylaw changes with one municipality instead of two. So that just makes sense. So the other side of that, it's left Central Elgin in the out the cold, so to speak, when it was their land. That's unfortunate for them. And there are two elements there. There's Central Elgin has sort of been left without possible revenue from a manufacturing investment, which would have been substantial for its ratepayers. And also, I think the agricultural community has expressed concern because they're losing what is valuable farmland. And we should never sort of dismiss or underestimate the importance of that. But I mean, the bottom line is 1,500 acres. City of St. Thomas, a massive investment, and it's to land a potential major manufacturing plant or several to that area. Because I mean, you can land a large manufacturing plant on 200, 300, 400, 500 acres of land. I think the Cami plant in St. Thomas, I think, is on 500 acres. The Stellantis battery plant in Windsor is on 200 acres. I think there's a Toyota plant in Woodstock on about 1,000 acres. So I mean, there's
1,500 is a lot.
It's a lot. It's more than they need for just one facility. So I think they're looking at multiple investments or an industrial park, and they want that flexibility.
Sure. And they want it to be shovel ready. Like, what are the benefits of having it shovel ready? Because we don't have an industry that's ready to set up shop right now.
Why it's so important to be shovel ready, and this happens in every municipality. The City of London, when they zone and develop land for industrial purposes, they attach services to it, which is sewer lines, energy systems like hydro lines, all that kind of infrastructure, roads, sidewalks, make sure that the lighting is in place so that when they sell the land, the new owner can start building right away. They want to be in within a matter of weeks. It's really critical. They want that fast turnover. If they buy a plot of land that's unserviced, it may take months to service it, because when you service a plot of land, you have to do environmental assessments. You may have to rezone it. You may have to do sort of water studies to find out exactly where the water flow is. It's a very intense process. So they want it serviced and ready to go, and they have that with this land. So this is going to be a major parcel ready to go. What else is really interesting about this is that the province sent a message out to municipalities across Ontario called the Job Site Challenge, which is saying we want to create mega sites for development. Few communities responded to that, but none as large as St. Thomas. This St. Thomas site is the largest in the province that's ready for a major investment. They're calling it a mega site. By far and away, it's the leading contender for a major investment across the province of Ontario. So
wow,
that's really something that bears watching.
And so you mentioned the electric vehicle battery plant that they are looking to build. Is that almost a done deal, or where are we with that?
Well, no one knows for certain, right? There's been a lot of discussion in the community that a lot of manufacturers are looking for a site. They are looking at Canada. Canada is very much front and center in this discussion because we have the infrastructure for it. We have an automotive kind of history. We have workers that have worked in that field. We have expertise in that area. We have other industries working in that area that can supply a plant, that can work with that plant. But most importantly, in the EV sector, we have access to Northern Ontario mines. And if you look at lithium and cobalt, which is mined in this area, in Northern Ontario, Northern Quebec, that cobalt could be trucked down. So the plant that's being talked about most is Volkswagen. I've reported that. So Volkswagen has an EV plant in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So my reaction initially was, well, there's no way they're going to build an EV plant here when they have a plant in Tennessee. Build in Tennessee or close.
Sure.
But when I sort of did some digging and I found out some background about how this works, it's actually more important for them to be closer to the source material than the end user. So they actually want to be close to the mineral sources. And GM did that. GM built a plant in Quebec, which is for exactly that reason. And there's been investment in the Kingston area as well by automakers looking to sort of tap into that natural resources and that mineral supply. So there's every reason to believe nothing's a done deal. We don't really know.
Sure.
But
yeah,
it would be fair to say Ontario's a contender. And if Ontario's a contender, St. Thomas is the leading site in the province of Ontario.
which
Now,
would be
remember
amazing
also,
because we've lost so many plants. The Ford Talbotville plant, the
right,
Sterling Truck plant, we lost. There was a lot of loss in St. Thomas in the last
and all the
decade.
suppliers. I've been in the food press a long time, and I covered those plant closings, and then for months afterwards, I did stories about how St. Thomas was a ground zero for the recession in Ontario, and manufacturing industrial plants closed. There were thousands of workers lost their jobs. It was a terrible time, and now it's come back. I mean, even without this investment, St. Thomas is really booming, has a very strong economy. They've seen significant manufacturing investment. Magna has 2 plants there, and there are other industrial players in the region as well. So I mean, St. Thomas has done well, but this is really this could really solidify things. You're right. I mean, it's been
what a boon for the region if this pans out, right?
Well, that's it, right? I mean, I'm speaking to you from London, but there's every reason to believe that the London Economic Development Corporation has been working with the St. Thomas Economic Development Group to sort of mutually develop this site. I think they've made joint presentations with the province. They're sort of marketing this as a region, not just St. Thomas, because London also has some resources that they can lend to that. So that really gives us, I think, a lot more weight.
Sure, and the province has been pushing it also, so which you mentioned.
Yeah.
So everybody's involved. Okay.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the annexation of the land from Central Elgin, because does annexation not take a long time? Because how long has this been going on?
The land was not annexed; it was purchased. So
purchased.
The municipality went out and, in a very aggressive way, with the province's backing, the province's full support, and there's every reason to believe that the province has helped fund the purchase as well. I mean, a municipality the size of St. Thomas can't buy 1,500 acres, out of pocket. So I think they've received some support from the province, although I don't have the details on that. But the city so St. Thomas went out and purchased those acres. They haven't expropriated or annexed. You're right. If it was expropriation, it would be a very long, involved process. We saw that Toyota did that for their plant in Woodstock. They had to annex and expropriate some parcels of land when some refused to sell. That whole process was fast-tracked by the province. The province basically steamrolled over those owners. So it would not be a serious hindrance if it did have to happen. But I think my understanding is in this case, they did not have to. They went out and purchased that land. I've not been able to find out a purchase price yet. I'm still chasing after that. I think it's fairly significant. Like I said, it was provincial dollars that certainly went into it. And I think that the province is also, in their meeting with industries, and they're freely admitting that they have met with several industries that are going to locate there. The province is pledging significant support. They want to bring industry there. So all in all, it bears watching. But I would not be surprised to get an announcement by year end. It's a major investment in St. Thomas that's going to really be a game changer for this region.
Okay. So in your story, you said that the land from Central Elgin is under contract. What does that mean?
It means that they've purchased the 800 acres. That's a done deal. And the 700 acres are under contract, which means they have offers on it. The deal hasn't closed.
Oh, I see. Okay.
They purchased it. The deal just hasn't closed. It'll close by the end of March. And then, but that under contract was basically a way of suggesting that it has not closed yet. But there's no reason to believe there's going to be any problem there. I think it's going fairly smoothly. And of course, the Ontario government is really pushing behind this thing to also make this happen.
Right. Well, I mean, this is really great news for St. Thomas, for Elgin, for the region, London, also, as you mentioned, for the whole area. Not everybody is thrilled with this, though. There are some reports from Central Elgin that not everybody there is happy that this land has been purchased or taken, they think, right? They say.
Well, that's a great point. They have a very valid point. I mean, in the municipality, they have land that they were looking to sort of develop their own industrial park, their own industrial investment. And when they lost this land, when it was sort of bought by the city of St. Thomas, and now the province is ensuring that it all goes it's being considered St. Thomas land. It won't be Central Elgin property anymore. It's just under one boundary. When there is a development on that site, they're not going to get any revenue for it. So they've lost out on a significant revenue generator for the municipality because industrial investment pays a lot of taxes. So quite understandably, they're not happy about that. But there's a bigger play there from the provincial's point of view, the province's point of view, that if they get a 2,000-3,000 job plant, that's significant. They can't sort of stand in the way of that. I wish there was a way that the municipality of Central Elgin could receive some sort of compensation for that, and I don't know if that's the case, but they should at least receive some assistance from the province, perhaps on developing other sites for development. I mean, if there's a major development in St. Thomas, there's going to be a lot of spin-off industry, and so Central Elgin is right there. So there's going to be a chance that they could get a major manufacturing plants of their own if they have the support from the province. So. I certainly hope that's something that they're pursuing.
And you'd also talked to some farmers in Central Elgin about a year ago who were not thrilled about the land sale either.
It's such a good point, man. It's something we really lose track of. Is that industrial development is great, manufacturing jobs are great, they generate a lot of money for the tax revenue, and workers are paid well, but they're taking up valuable agricultural land. I mean, this land is being used to grow food on. And so, we should sort of acknowledge that. We should pause on that. Now, when I talked to Sean Dyke about that, who's the economic development chair at the city of St. Thomas, he said that they will only develop that land if they have an industry looking to land there. And until that is the case, they will continue to lease it back to the agricultural community for growing food on, for agricultural purposes. So until there's a plant ready to go there, it's going to stay farmland, which is good news because it's a lot of land. And so who knows, maybe if nothing does come there, it will continue to generate food. But at the same time, there's every reason to believe, from what the talk is that we could be close to a major announcement that land will be developed. There's a lot of discussion in the community about that.
Yeah. Well, we will definitely follow your stories. I'm sure you'll be on this one and see what happens. And if there's any announcements soon, we'll hear it from you at lfpress.com. Thank you so much, Norm.
I appreciate your help today.